What's going on, guys? It's Cole, and welcome to GPS Season 10, Week 9. So this week, we go up against the Black City Zekrom, who, just like us, are 2-6 after we fell to the Scotland Stouts, and he lost to Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix. Alright, so as we can see from his team, he has Baxcalibur, Ceruledge, Pawmot, Drifblim, Bisharp, Lurantis, Dragalge, Primeape, and Falinks. The team I expect him to bring is Baxcalibur, Ceruledge, Pawmot, Drifblim, Bisharp, and Falinks. Alright, so I will see you guys in the battle. Alright, so we are getting ready to battle with Black City. So we can see the team that he brought is Driftblim, Bisharp, Pawmot, Baxcalibur, Ceruledge, and Falinks, just as I thought. So we are going to lead off with Choice Scarfed Garchomp and Leftovers Thick Fat Houndstone. Because really the only fire move he has is Bitter Blade. And then we are going to have Toedscruel and Gastrodon in the back. So I kind of barely prepped for this match because it's at the point in the season where I'm like, you know what? If I win, okay, but if I lose, whatever. It's really not that big of a deal. So he leads off with Ceruledge and Pawmot. So I'm like, well, I know one thing he's going to do, and that's going to be to fake out Garchomp. So I'm like, that's fine, whatever. So we have Shadow Sneak to break Pawmot's Focus Sash. Which honestly on this turn didn't really matter because I could have just Will-O-Wisped him. And that would have done the same thing. And we also have Ally Switch. So yep, there's the fake out as Ceruledge Terra Grassed. Shadow Sneak comes out. And he sets up a bulk up. So here, I was expecting him to switch into Drifblim, so I went for the Dragon Claw. And I know I can't Will-O-Wisp the Ceruledge. So I'm expecting maybe a Shadow Sneak into the Houndstone slot. So I go for the Ally Switch. Actually, no, sorry, that was expecting a possible Ice Punch into the Garchomp, just in case. So we get the Ally Switch off. So Dragon Claw is going to do nothing to Bisharp with its Eviolite. As we see that he had a Bitter Blade going into the Garchomp slot. So that didn't really work out for me very well. So I go for Will-O-Wisp into the Bisharp. And I switch into Gastrodon. Ceruledge's Shadow Sneak brings us to 55, as Bisharp sets up a Swords Dance. We get the Will-O-Wisp off, so now Bisharp has its attack halved. So I go for a Shadow Sneak into Ceruledge, and I protect to scout a possible Grass-type Terra Blast. As, of course, the Quick Claw would proc Honor Protect. Because why wouldn't it? So we get the Shadow Sneak off, which does a small amount of damage. And yep, he was going for a Grass-type Terra Blast. As Bisharp sets up another Short Stance. Bisharp takes some damage from its burn. So I go for an Ally Switch, expecting another Terra Blast, and I go for Ice Beam into Ceruledge. Ice Beam over the Muddy Water that I had last week, because Ice Beam is super effective against, obviously, Terra Grass Ceruledge, and also Drifblim. As Thick Doggo will die to the Terra Blast. And Bisharp sets up another Sword Stance. And Ceruledge takes decent damage from the Ice Beam and gets frozen. So I was like, yay! So I go for the Protect, and I go for an Earth Power into the Bisharp. Just on the off chance that Ceruledge gets the turn 1 Thaw. So we get the Protect off. Toadscruel kills the Bisharp with an Earth Power, after it did nothing but set up Sword Stances. And Ceruledge, of course, thaws out. And Bitter Blade will kill Toadscruel. And Ceruledge basically heals off all the damage from the Ice Beam. So now all that's left is Gastrodon and Garchomp versus his 3. So we know he has Pawmot and Ceruledge, and I don't know what his 4th one was. So I go for a Terra Fire with an Earthquake, because I know he's going to want to fake out Garchomp. Because Garchomp does more damage than Gastrodon. And look at that, we get the Quick Claw again. So we Terra Fire. As Pawmot does indeed fake out Garchomp. And the Earth Power will kill Pawmot. Ceruledge will do a... I forget if it's a decent amount of damage with +1 Terra Blast. And out comes Baxcalibur. So I go for Ice Beam into Ceruledge. And Dragon Claw into Baxcalibur. But Baxcalibur will take Garchomp out with an Ice Shard. And Gastrodon takes decent damage from a Shadow Sneak. As Ice Beam does, again, decent damage, but doesn't get the freeze. So we lose game 1. Ceruledge will Shadow Sneak Gastrodon. So I go for a recover, hoping for the Quick Claw, but it doesn't matter. Scoop 2 goes down to a crit. Alright, so I will see you guys in game 2. Alright, so that could have gone better. But anyway, welcome to game 2. So I decide, I'm like, how am I going to lead off? I was like, you know what? Let's lead off with Houndstone and Garchomp again. And I decide to bring Rotom. And Gastrodon again. So I figured, I'm like, there's still other stuff I can do with this lead off. So out comes Baxcalibur and Ceruledge, which means we don't have to worry about a fake out. So I immediately Terrestrialize and go for a Rock Slide. And I can't Will-O-Wisp either of them, so I go for an Ally Switch. So Ceruledge is immune thanks to Flash Fire, and Baxcalibur is immune to Burn thanks to Thermal Exchange. So we Terra Rock, we do the Ally Switch, as Ice Shard goes right into Thick Doggo, and as does Shadow Sneak, but it does like 0 damage. Ceruledge takes massive damage from Rock Slide. Baxcalibur takes just under half. So I figure, let's Shadow... And then I was like, oh wait, no, he's gonna Terra Grass. Rock Slide probably should KO from that range. So I was like, let me Shadow Sneak Baxcalibur to get it just under half. And I honestly wasn't thinking he was gonna Terrestrialize. But here he does. So we get the Shadow Sneak off. Baxcalibur goes just under half. And Rock Slide will kill both of them. So he just wasted his Terra. And my Pokemon are... Garchomp's at full HP. Houndstone, since it took no damage this turn, will gain extra health back from the leftovers. Now it's at almost full. Out comes Pawmot and Bisharp. So I go for the Will-O-Wisp into the Pawmot. No, into the Bisharp. And I switch into Gastrodon, expecting an Iron Head. I fake out an Iron Head. Here comes the fake out. Here comes the Iron Head, which does nothing. And now Bisharp is once again burned. for a Will-O-Wisp into Pawmot, and Earth Power into Bisharp. As Pawmot will use Revival Blessing and revive Baxcalibur. So now Pawmot's Focus Sash is broken. And Bisharp takes a ton of damage from Earth Power. Thick Doggo gets even closer to full. Bisharp's close to death. Go for the ally switch and the protect. As Bisharp went for a Sucker Punch, and Pawmot went for a Double Shock into the Houndstone slot. Houndstone's literally now basically at full HP. Bisharp gets even lower. So I go for Earth Power into Pawmot and Shadow Sneak into Bisharp. A Sucker Punch does okay damage. Shadow Sneak, because of the resistance and the Eviolite, will bring it down to a sliver. And now with the Double Shock, Pawmot loses its electric type, which means now it's not weak to Earth Power. But it still takes a ton of damage. And Bisharp will die to its burn. So I figured I'm like, I'll just go for an Earth Power. I go for a Shadow Sneak into Pawmot. And our Quick Claw procs again. Shadow Sneak will kill Pawmot. And Earth Power does okay damage into Baxcalibur, as Baxcalibur will kill Scoop with a Glaive Rush. But it's fine, because we win this game because Garchomp can just come out and click Dragon Claw. And Rotom never even hits the field. So, see you guys in Game 3. As Shadow Sneak comes out, Dragon Claw will pick up the KO. Alright, so welcome to Game 3, where I figure, I'm like, you know what? Garchomp and Houndstone was a decent lead in the last 2 rounds. So I decide to lead it again. With Scoop and Bombirdier in the back. So he leads Baxcalibur and Drifblim, as I want to once again lead Houndstone and Garchomp. So I go for the Terror Rock, and I go for an ally switch. So we get the ally switch off. We get the Rock Slide off. Almost knocks Driftblim out in one shot. Does over 50% on Baxcalibur. And Baxcalibur flinches, as Driftblim's Flame Orb procs for its Flare Boost ability. And we can just get the Shadow Sneak off and knock Driftblim out. As he goes for the Terra Dragon. Yep, we knocked Drifblim out. We get the Rock Slide off, but now that it's not Ice type, it's not weak, so it won't die from the Rock Slide. And he gets the Iron Head off and knocks us down to 49 HP. Then sends out Bisharp. So I go for Shadow Sneak into the Baxcalibur. Don't know why I almost said Dragapult. So Squoop comes out. Bisharp's Sucker Punch fails. As we get the Shadow Sneak off and leave Baxcalibur with a Sliver. It will get the Glaive Rush off. And bring Gastrodon down to 14 HP. So I go for the Will-O-Wisp into Bisharp. And another Sucker Punch fails. As we burn Bisharp. Nope, sorry, I forgot. It had missed. And his Tailwind peters out. So now Bombirdier, the former Titan, comes out. Baxcalibur Ice Shard brings us down to 41. As our Sucker Punch fails. And Bisharp's Sucker Punch fails. And we burn Bisharp. Go for the ally switch. As Baxcalibur does a little bit to Houndstone. Obviously, again, our Sucker Punch fails because we're locked in. And his Sucker Punch fails. An entire turn of priority. And Baxcalibur will take Bombirdier down with Ice Shard. Sucker Punch hits and does basically nothing, as Shadow Sneak will knock out Baxcalibur. Now it's Garchomp and his last Pokemon, which is Pawmot. So I figure, I'm like, you know what? They're both weak to Earthquake. Houndstone can decently take it. So I was like, let's just go with Earthquake. So we get the ally switch off, absorbing the Iron Head. That probably would have killed Garchomp. So this is where I go for the Earthquake, and I go for a Shadow Sneak into Pawmot. Sucker Punch does nothing. Shadow Sneak comes out, breaks Pawmot's sash, and Pawmot will fall to an Earthquake. Bisharp gets brought low. So I know Garchomp will die to a Sucker Punch. So Garchomp falls to a Sucker Punch as I get off a Shadow Sneak, which, as we saw, won't do much. But importantly, the burn will bring it down to a Sliver. So I don't want to risk a crit on a Sucker Punch, which might actually kill me from 87 HP. So I go for the only play that I can to not risk a crit. We click Will-O-Wisp. Sucker Punch fails, and Bisharp falls, meaning we win Game 3 with Houndstone remaining. So we win it with... Nope. Yep, there we go. Okay, now the burn takes it down. So we win in 3 games, we win 2 straight. So next week we go up against a new team, the team that ruined my draft, the Cerulean Ascendancy. However, he did drop Houndstone, which obviously, as you've seen, has done some decent work for me. So, I was kind of glad that he dropped it, though, because I had originally wanted it anyway. But anyway, so like I said, we go up against the Cerulean Ascendancy, aka Cardiac Cowboy, who is a friend of the Couch Pilots. So I'll see you guys next week. And after that battle, there will be some news. So, I will see you then. Later.
Bye-bye.